Hi, it's Mrs. Sargent. Quick comma lesson. First place to use commas would be series commas. When you have a list of items, you always use commas between every item in the list. So I went to the store and bought bread, comma, milk, comma, cheese, comma, eggs, comma, and donuts. This comma before the and is the one that you have to use. You might hear people refer to them as Oxford commas. That's what they're talking about, that last comma in a series. And yes, we do put those commas there before the and. Some people might think that it's okay to put a colon here because I have a list. But if you're going to use a colon, you want to make sure that what comes before it is a complete sentence. I went to the store and bought. That's not a sentence, so I wouldn't ever use a colon there. If you had something that said, I went to the store and bought the following items, then sure, you could use a colon, and then I'm going to give you my list of items. Still, list, series, comma between every element, including before the and. When I have a dependent clause at the beginning of a sentence, I always set it off with a comma. So because it rained, comma, we stayed in. If I put that dependent clause at the end of the sentence, I don't have to use any commas. We stayed in because it rained. No punctuation in that sentence. Anytime I have dates or cities and states in a sentence, I need to set those off with commas. So on May 10th, comma, between the day and the year, I would use a comma, but I also need a comma here after the year. And same thing here. There's always that comma between the city and the state, but in the middle of the sentence, I need to set my state off with a comma as well. Those are places I have to use commas. Finally, if I have a sentence like this, children who watch too much TV are stupid. Is this correct? And I don't mean is what it's saying correct. I mean, is it punctuated correctly? Think about it for a minute. What are these commas telling me? Typically, if I'm setting something like this off with commas, it means it's probably not important. It's just extra information. So if that's the case, my sentence says, children are stupid. Is that really what I'm saying? No, I'm talking specifically about the ones who watch too much TV. So in that case, this phrase is essential to the meaning of my sentence. So that means I can't use these commas. I have to leave those out because this information needs to be included for you to understand what I'm saying. If I have a sentence like this, Aunt Betty who wears sweaters year-round is my favorite relative. Does it matter that Aunt Betty wears sweaters? Not really, it's just extra information that I'm giving you. So here I could put those commas in and not change the meaning of my sentence because these commas are telling you this is just extra information that I'm giving you. My sentence still means what I want it to, says the same thing, whether that information is there or not. So it's non-essential, so I can set that off with commas. Those are some quick and dirty comma rules, places to make sure that you use commas. Lots of places where commas are optional, and I tend to say be a little bit more judicious with your comma usage. Again, if you have questions, let me know, or check in with one of the tutors in the Writing Center because they're super helpful with comma usage and can help you identify some of those places where you may or may not need them. If you watch this whole video, send me an email and I'll give you extra credit.